Hi, I'm Todd Goodwin. Now, in my practice as a hypnotist, I frequently see a very interesting and very common phenomenon with a lot of my clients, and that is they set a goal, but they haven't been able to achieve it. And we've all experienced it. I have many times in my life, I'm sure you have, where you set a goal, whether it's related to a relationship, money, career, or health, and for some reason or another, even though the goal seems to make sense and it's very logical, it's like a part of us gets in the way. And that's because in order to be successful at something, we need to have congruency. In order to achieve a goal relatively easily, relatively in a short amount of time, we need to have a sense of true single-mindedness. And when this doesn't happen, it's because we have an internal conflict between our logical conscious mind and our emotional subconscious. The subconscious usually wins. And so if that part has some vested interest in keeping you stuck and preventing you from achieving that goal, then you're probably going to struggle and you may end up giving up before you get there. So today I want to tell you about the 4 challenges or obstacles that you may encounter that will absolutely get in the way of achieving that goal. Once these 4 things are dealt with effectively and resolved, then your path is clear and you'll be more able to achieve that goal easily and naturally without a lot of willpower and effort. The first thing is low self-worth. And just put simply, this means how you value yourself. It's related to self-esteem, which is whether you like yourself or not. And if your self-worth is low, or is lower than what would be required for that goal, you'll find a way to sabotage. A common example would be someone in a relationship that is a fairly unhealthy relationship or relationship pattern they've been in. And they might hear their friends say, you know, you can do so much better than that guy. Don't you know you deserve to be with someone who loves you? I see this a lot with a lot of my clients, especially women, when they have trouble leaving a man who clearly is not respecting or honoring them, and they feel stuck. And one of the challenges is if they don't feel that they deserve to be with someone who treats them with respect or loves them. Now, obviously, rationally, they may fully understand this, but emotionally, based on childhood programming or past relationship experience, that individual may not truly at their core believe that they deserve something better. So if your self-worth is lower than is necessary for that goal, you will not be achieving that goal. Number 2 is self-efficacy. And this simply means that you believe you have the ability to create or effect change in your life. If you have self-efficacy, it means you believe it's possible. If you lack self-efficacy, you may believe you deserve to have it, but you don't believe it's going to happen for you. A common example here is with money. You may believe you deserve to be a millionaire or you deserve to be financially independent. But if at a deep level you just don't believe that you can do it, either you don't think you have the resources or the follow through, and it's just not going to happen for you, then your subconscious is going to find a way to stop you from achieving it. After all, it wants to be right. And if you really believe you lack the ability to make it happen, then you'll make that true. The third is fear, and this can be a big one. Most common is a fear of failure, and related to this is the fear of rejection, judgment, or criticism of other people. So if you fear trying and failing, and you have those what ifs in your mind, what if it doesn't work, what if I'm not able to make it happen, what if I run out of opportunities after this opportunity fails, that fear is going to preoccupy your mind, and then that will often get in the way of achieving that goal. There needs to be a sense of inner peace when focusing on that goal. If there's a fear of achieving it or not achieving it, that will interfere. And fourth is something called secondary gain. Now, this is not always involved. The first 3 are common. This is not as common, but when it is, it can sabotage anything, no matter how well the self-worth, self-efficacy, and lack of fear are intact. If there's secondary gain, that needs to be dealt with. And put very simply, because it can be a complex concept and take a lot of explanation, Secondary gain is when the solution presents new problems that may be greater than the current problem. Stated differently, it's when keeping the problem or state of being stuck is actually better than solving it. One quick example of this is a client I had once before in the past where she had, every time she tried to lose weight, she would get halfway and then find a way to sabotage it. Now, a lot of people do that, and there may not be secondary gain. In her case, she was in a relationship, a marriage that she'd been in for 20-something years. There was no sex, no emotional intimacy. It was really an unhappy marriage. And what happened was she was finding that whenever she started to lose weight, she became attractive to other men. Now, even though logically she did not want to cheat on her husband, she suddenly found that she had opportunities she didn't have before, and that was making her uncomfortable. So that was stressing her out, and then she found that being thin was more stressful than being overweight. So in other words, the secondary gain of remaining overweight was that it saved her marriage. Weird, strange, but that's how the subconscious works. And there are tons of examples that I could quote with money or health, relationships, and that's the key. So if you can resolve the self-worth issue, raise your self-esteem and self-worth, realize that you are worthy, you do deserve to have that goal. Second, you can increase your self-efficacy so that you know that you can do it and it is possible for you. Third, eliminate the fears, clear your mind about it. And fourth, if there is secondary gain and there is some strange incentive to stay where you've been stuck, that needs to be neutralized as well. These are all works that take place at the subconscious level. That's the specialty of a really good hypnotist. So consider those. Ask yourself in your life when you're up against a wall with your goal, which of those four, maybe one, maybe all of them, are playing a factor. And if that's the case, then that's something that you need to bring your attention to. Once you've done that effectively, then you can finally achieve that goal. And nothing feels better than setting a goal, especially if you've set it a long time ago, and actually getting there. So set those goals, get rid of those obstacles, do your best, and use your mind to be your best self.